Hello and welcome everyone. Today I made a decision that since we begun a new playthrough on Monday, let's go to the mainstay playthrough today as well. So, it is finally time that we return to Ace Attorney. It's been a long while, it's been a long enough pause, and especially since I have had to pause my playthrough of the Great Ace Attorney due to me not doing much else than playing Legends Arceus. At least I get some Ace Attorney in, right? Waiting for the anime season 3 here. So, better to get the game in first before that happens. The second season just poofed out of nowhere, so who knows, so might the third. Anyway, let's get the game started. And you have to bear with me. I don't remember, was there a mechanic that I needed to load? Like, as in continue, or... Because there wasn't a save for the ending of the final trial, wasn't there? So I have to go with new game, alright? Because it's been too long. Especially since it's been the last stream of Ace Attorney, but the first stream of Justice for All. But since we are going into the third game, it shall be Trials and Tribulations. The game I have the least memories and least knowledge of, since I have never played it standalone in any format. And since it's, well, the third one, it has received the least replay until now. Overall, like, memorizing between... the original is the original, you have to, like, let it be. But remembering between Justice for All and Trials and Tribulation, I can't say which one I actually liked more. They are different games overall, they have a different narrative. And many say that Justice for All was a filler, while Trials and Tribulation goes into advancements. Meanwhile, I kind of feel it the opposite way. That Trials and Tribulations brought out details of things that clearly weren't there from the get-go. They have been retroactively fit in. But I would say quite well in the grand scheme of things. But I will not keep you intense. Let's actually start and showcase what I'm on about. So as usual, we'll be starting with episode 1, Turnabout Memories. Play. Thank you, Goron. I shall do a couple of hydrations. Yeah, that's far from rain, but it's something. Thank you. Well, rarely it rains something else than water. Randa and snow and hail are still water, just in different forms. So it stays. But what a beginning. I don't get why it says 5 years earlier when this is continuation from it, what we just saw, not earlier than that. And yeah, we are playing as Mia right now. So this is the first time in the series as well. We are playing someone else than Phoenix. Oh, that's what you meant. I was on about, like, thinking other things first, but then I saw CPU. Oh, that's nice. I assume that things went fine since you are here right now. I wish I could get my CPU upgraded as well, but I will, like, even if I had the funds, I might not have the means of getting a new one. I would also want to have some more memory, but there is the issue that I don't remember what combs do I have in there, like how many, and how many spaces are there, so I can't just go on in a store and buy more memory, because I would need to know, do I have any spaces for additional combs, and do I need to, like, just get overall bigger combs and replace them. And the opening of my case is very annoying. I never had any other case in the history of the world I've seen where you need to use strength to open it. With this one you need. So, and top of that, there's so much shit on my table. I don't want to be opening my case unless I really have to. Yeah, this is funny since it's never mentioned outside of this, but it makes full sense. Like, why is this never mentioned outside? Last upgrade? What do you mean last upgrade? You know, at some point you're gonna need to replace the computer anyway, because computers don't last forever. Like, until we get wheelless technology to be, like, fully utilized, you cannot have a quote-unquote eternally functioning computer. 10 years is gonna be like the maximum. And if someone has a computer that has been working for over 10 years, I have had some as well. But when I have stopped using them, I have noticed that things have been, like, things have broken. They just manage to function while being broken. So yeah, so you're gonna fully upgrade and change the entire system then. Yeah, makes sense. Meanwhile, I'm talking about the very first upgrade for this one. It's like, this one isn't more than a couple of years old. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You haven't been using it all the time, like 10 years in usage. If it's just been somewhere powered down, yeah, of course it's not gonna wear down that much. To some extent, yes, but not that much. Yeah. The way that they talk about time here, it's kinda... I'm kinda confused. Because I'm gonna spoil the fact that, of course, this takes place in the past. Because Wright is young here and not an attorney yet. And Mia is talking about something that happened even before this. But right at the beginning they said 5 years ago, after showing the well, whatever brought right here, right now. So I don't remember it being this confusingly like presented in the original trilogy. So maybe they've done some retranslations and it messes things up a bit. Eh. Well, yeah, that like the only reason why I have this computer right now is because I got those couple months of paycheck so I could buy an upgrade. But it's actually a good benchmark for me to check when I have started using this computer. Because I only did a very short while, like a few streams with my laptop. And then I moved to this one when I got it. And yeah, Pain. Pain of course has a different look. This is the same Pain that you have used to already, but his looks change between every iteration. Even inside the same game many times. So yeah. I love how the iteration of Pain in the Great Ace Attorney games. I don't want to spoil how it has been working, but the story on it is awesome. Duck Swallow. The series loves puns. You even going through with the translations, but the only puns I can get out of that name are a bit more mature than usual, so... You can't? There is something in this picture which shouldn't be able to be seen this well in a picture. I bet people can already guess what it is. Normally it's super coincidental to get it to show in any form, let alone this effectively, especially since this picture had to have been taken a while after the thing, like the event itself, so it shouldn't be active. It should have said, oh, there is a disconnect, shut down. Although I don't know, is the wiring different in Japan? It could be that the system will still keep feeding even when it cannot pass through. Yeah, like I said, Goran, it's obvious. It's obvious here. And it's not a spoiler. I just didn't want to say it myself. Just have something for the viewers to think about. But yeah, I don't know if the cabling is different in Japan, but over here, it has been at least ever since I've lived, that after a certain while, when the system will have like a lack of current, it will just cease and it will put a lock on itself when it notices that it's not going anywhere. Well, check the photo after. Is this something I don't know about? I will try to remember. I will try to remember because I don't remember that being anything. Also, how is Grossberg still in office when he constantly has something? His stomach, hemorrhoids, everything. But it's clear that he had made good money. So I guess the money just keeps him afloat so well. You all know what happened to him if you saw the previous streams. What happened in the first game. Cab. Well, let's look at the court record. Just so everyone knows. So, well, the autopsy report is very short. Can't look anything in it. Just time of death, cause to shock. And well, the image we have already seen, but now you can see it without text box. So yep. And game, please. I don't know why it didn't want me to let me out of that picture, but oh well. I had to press the button a couple of times. I would be so tempted. And since we're at the beginning, I don't remember, did they have any sort of explanations? Because hypothermia wouldn't make any sense. So let's check if someone, like, they will say about it how it doesn't make any sense. Because sometimes they have good responses at the beginning if you fail on purpose. I just don't want to go through all the failures, because that takes a long time. I like that there was the cold reference, but I have a feeling it could have gone with the other option as well. So let's go with the right option. Oh boy, Judge. There could be very easy ways to do it. Like, you can actually electrocute someone with a battery if you have some tools to go with it. It's hard, but it can be done. Let's say it's painful and you need to apply strength in a very creative manner, but it can be done. The motive. Well, motive is always like good enough for the prosecution, but motive or lack of motive, and especially motive against, is never good for defense. Just how the world works. Smooth. Well, okay. Comparing Pain for the other prosecutors, yeah, Pain is smooth. But then again, Pain is a huge simp, so... And that title never made any sense, because all we see is him losing the rookies. Well, that depends how you look at the thing, Goran. And we'll switch to profiles. And we'll present Grossberg. No, because I don't think there is anything special. And like here, I applaud that since this is just a tutorial, and they still want you to go and actually read the profiles. Because if you were just presented all of this, it wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't know who to put in. But since you can actually read the profile, oh, Wright's girlfriend dated the victim. That sounds like a motive. Oh, yeah, E. Yeah, like that's like the thing, Goran. Because everything we can see of Pain has just been losing to rookies. Because every time we have been against Pain, we have been a rookie in one form or another. So yeah, prosecution summoning the accused to be the first understand is a very unusual prospect. But what do you mean with that? I am confused. I'm very confused. But I'm still confused, Goran. I don't know, like, I didn't notice anything that would relate to 300. And I have even seen the second movie. Oh, I have even seen the second one. That's just like how quotes begin with anyone. Wait, was there a third movie as well? If there is, I have no idea of that. I only knew that there is a second movie and I have seen it on TV. And I miss the times when I actually saw movies on plane. Because like it hasn't been that long since I've been on a plane. But not counting that time, I haven't gotten off the country ever since I moved here. And even the previous times before that with a plane, there weren't any movies. Like, at most they shown a single Roadrunner cartoon on a 6-hour flight. It's like, why? Like, feels like the airline company was like, we cannot make people pay for our earphones anymore, so let's just remove the in-flight entertainment. We have all these movies and shows we could be showing, But what if we don't anymore? And like overall, when there have been in like the last movies I did see on planes, there was always like fucking Cars 2, like shitty movies that I don't want to see, and then some random, never heard before, never heard since, like rom-coms. I bet I have seen like 30 rom-coms in fights, and I have no memory of any of them. I might remember, oh, I seen this if I start like see it somewhere else, but the likelihoods of that, next to none. And let's actually press since we're here. Okay, I will check it after the stream, because unfortunately I don't have a good method of checking it during the stream. Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised that this particular case would be just silently removed if the game would be, like the series would be newer and would be in the well, it's already outdated, but the seasonal visual novel style, like the Telltale game design, they would change like this completely. Just because. But in Japan, it's been the norm that people wear masks, like for eons. Like, if you feel at all unwell, if you want to protect yourself from the dust, if you want to hide your identity at arcade, it was norm. And now it's become the norm for everyone. So funny to think about. And talking about that, I was actually stabbed today. I didn't expect that in the morning, but, well, I saw an article online because I was searching for things, and then I was like, whoa, stab, yes. Totally unexpected. I was sure that I'd get there, and they're like, no, you already been stabbed twice, you are not gonna get it today. But no, they had everything set up. Like, the service can't get any better other than next time they're gonna legit come to my apartment to do it. Also, wait, why does the... What? The emote looks completely different for some reason. Did you edit the emote with something? Yeah. What modification did you do to it? Because it looks so weird. Oh, no wonder it must hide like things. Because I don't like it looks so weird. That's funny. I was about to say, like, what the hell happened to it? Yeah, it makes sense now that you say it. Because the sunglasses must hide most of the eyes, but they are, like, just black on black, so you can't see anything. So it just looks like there is weird eye lines. And, well, looking at the side. But that's weird. Unfortunately, there wasn't a way to add two modifications, because if you added flip and sunglasses, you could have looking at both ways. You could make an animation with the chat. But yeah, like, the last time I got stabbed, I thought that, like, this cannot get any faster. But definitely it did. Like, it's most likely not a question of if, it's a question of when there's gonna be a fourth one. I wouldn't be shocked if it legit goes to that. I'm just gonna open my door and, oh, hello, we're gonna stab, and then just sit down, stab, have a nice day. Because it's gotten faster, 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 and faster. And everyone was so polite. They were actually having a coffee break when I entered. I was the only one going in there. Which was not surprising at all. But it was surprising that in the, like, shopping mall there weren't next to no people anyway. That's a very unknown. Because for some reason there is always, like, at least 100 people in there. Usually all middle-aged women looking, like, buying clothes. Just don't understand where how there is enough of people for that. But that's the norm. Yeah, like, that's the same. I only know 2 people who had some sort of reaction to the second one, and both of them are like, yeah, not getting the third because of that. Meanwhile, nobody else had anything with any of them, really. Like, of any note, that is. Because, like, just being a bit tired, having a bit sore in the arm, like, things like that, that's normal. It doesn't matter, even if you're having a blood test, if the one who's taking it is doing it badly, you will have your arm sore. It's, in 90% of the cases, it's how it's done, what affects is your arm hurting at all or not. But now, all 3 times, the end result have been, well, I can't say yet because there haven't been any bugs around right now, but in the first 2, I was bitten by a bug, and that hurts, hurted, and was itchy, like, after that, even though it was like a week before it. And then, if I didn't have this, what band-aid? Yeah, that's the term. I almost forgot it. If I didn't have this band-aid on here, I couldn't even tell where I was stabbed. Every time the same. But yeah, so I can handle it because we don't want extra tutorials on top of tutorials. It's not all about the definite evidence, it's about having the evidence that the game wants at that particular moment. Because there have been so many times that it's like, but we don't have a murder weapon. If we had the murder weapon, we could advance. Then you present the murder weapon. Then you get a penalty. Meanwhile, you first needed to present a picture of the murder weapon and then the murder weapon. Like, the amount of times that actually have happened. I at the same time I hate it and I love it. So oh yeah, we have a edit. Is this the third? Yeah, wasn't. Hold up. This. Yeah, because we had this and then this was added to it. We'll go to present. Get the picture. And like you can't see the back of his shirt. But far as I remember, for some reason it's supposed to be presented to this one. I don't remember the exact why and how it goes on, but I remember. Let's see, do I remember things correct? Yes, because it actually advances. Like, I say the picture is... The picture isn't good enough because you really can't... Like, you can't see enough of the back. There could be a freaking Union Jack there. You see only, like, the shoulder area from his right shoulder. Like, there could be a huge Union Jack on the other side. Like, you would need to see more. You know, the defense the defense is digging their own grave here. We are stating that the accused is lying, which makes them seem more guilty. Big fan. That makes Phoenix sound like a totally different person than what we know. Overall, cold medicines have a very mixed, very mixed past, and especially present. But you being a fan of a cold medicine, that makes it sound like you're going to student parties and using it to get high. The amount of times that some cold medicine have been recalled because people have found a way that, oh, if you actually smoke it, it's gonna make you high, or wait, if you dilute it or if you add alcohol to it, it's gonna make you high. Like, things like that, like stupid things. And then they are gonna recall a cold medicine, and then they're gonna add it back with a different label. People are gonna forget about that, find a new brand, like a total new brand, do it all over again. It has happened so many times in the States. And like the answer isn't to recall the medicine, it's going into why it's done and going into like educating and finding the roots of that and getting rid of that. That will actually help people. But then again, there are people that will always get their head messed up in one way or another. Those can't be held in traditional means. But meh. And if it's such a huge brand, yeah, like fingerprints, yes. Without fingerprints, no. But then again, in the series we have had things with fingerprints, and it's usually meant nothing. Usually. That's like I haven't heard that really ever happening, because if you have a wristwatch on your wrist and you're gonna be electrocuted, in most likelihoods the watch itself is not gonna get the electricity because it's inside its coverings. Its battery is encased. It's not gonna go through there unless it's actually on the path, which it shouldn't, because when the electricity comes from whatever it hits, your body, your head, your hand, it should go down to your legs and then to the ground. Okay, if your hand is the one that got hit, maybe. But in most cases, it still should not pass that way because it's a detour. And even it would, mechanical watches don't usually they don't usually break with that so easily. Digital ones would. They would break instantly, but then they wouldn't display anything. A mechanical watch breaking down, yeah. If it breaks down in a manner that it stops moving, of course you know what's the time. But how many times when someone has hit their hand into something or something has hit them with force, the watch breaks in a manner that the hands just become loose and they will just start hanging. I've seen that happening far too often. I've never seen a place where it actually stops to function exactly when something happened and remains there. Like I know a couple of dudes who like fell. They braced it with their hands, but their watches hit the ground. It like the glass on front of it splintered. The watch functioned long as the long arrow, the minute arrow, started hitting that shard where the glass splintered. Then it got stuck in that, and that's when the clock stopped functioning. But it was like way after the event. Like, why have you presented my face? My profile has nothing to do. Yeah, I noticed that you did use the mirroring, but the mirroring does next to nothing since the face is quite forwarding. It's very uncanny because of the light. It's very uncanny, but the effect of it is quite light in the end. But now I can't stop looking at it, like looking both at the same time. Because it's getting more uncanny the more I watch it. Even more uncanny. I need to stop looking at it, but it's so uncanny. No. Goran, you have broken me. Yep, I'll see you later when that happens. I assume that you are gonna install the new CPU. Like, normally yes. It really depends, like, how it goes with the paste and things, but usually it's a very straightforward thing. I can't remember the last time I done that, though. Like, I don't think... Did I even do it with the previous computer? Because I had my cousin there doing most of the work. Like, that's usually been the case anyway. I don't remember the last time when I have done it. Maybe when I replaced the CPU from, like, one of the identical devices to the other. Because they were not functioning, so at business school... Maybe somewhere then. It must be then. What I meant with the paste was like, if you need to apply it or you need to scrape it, because I have seen multiple PCs where they have added some, most likely not even a real paste, because it left these very greasy and awful markings, which made it feel like, how has this been functioning even? So sometimes cleaning up that has been a thing. So yeah. Was it about time or was it about... Because I know both are important. Or was this one of the cases where I had to ask about both? Well, it's just good, if that's been the case. I haven't really ever even looked at the numbers. Because like with my previous computer, it had the fan control on this wheel in the front. But I usually did nothing to it, because it also had a color that stated where the temperature is. And I don't recall, did it ever really go much into purple? Because it should go like from blue, purple, red. Red is when it's actually hot. So I can't recall it ever really being that purple even. It was almost always blue. Which I'm very surprised, especially how my room was during the summers. Back in the day. And the fact that the air conditioning, like the air circulating in the room itself, was non-existent, which didn't do good for me, let's just say. Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't matter what time of year is. Like, you can, in essence, have a flu season with any time of the year. Over here, it feels like there are flu seasons, and they like switch around a bit when they appear and how do they appear and how like bad they go. But having 4 seasons, which very random changes between, it's very easy to get a bit of a cold. Even during summer. There have been so many summers where there have been like very warm, multiple days in a row. People go to the beach. It gets really windy. Oh, people got a cold because they were in the nature nature water with very windy weather, and the water itself got cold. So you got why can't I speak English today? Exposed, yeah. Being exposed to the elements and all the contagions in the water, and having the the temperature going low, it's a very, very likely place to catch up something. Well, again, this is a very mixed, because people have seen the picture, right? And from the picture, you can draw conclusions. Easy conclusions. But is it enough for the game? That's usually the thing. Even if you would know exactly what happened, you need to be sure is the game agreeing with you. But since I did ask about I think I asked the right thing. It's about the pharmacology, because that's gonna be very important later on. I think that I have gotten everything needed to do this. I think this won't trigger unless I have like gotten everything triggered as it should. So I am going to establish. Well, we don't have much. The only thing we have is the photo, because the second photo, it shows really nothing. We see the watch, which seems to be perfectly functional, and we see the cold medicine. We have the cold medicine, which has nothing to do with the execution. We have our badge, which is only the funny thing to show when we are investigating things. Autopsy report, it doesn't show the reason. So just by going with logical sense, it's only gonna read the crime photo, even if you would not have noticed what is in it. Now, here's the thing. I don't remember exactly. Did I need to point out this sparkling electricity throughout the lines? Or the umbrella or parasol? I think it was meant to be a parasol, but it was used as an umbrella. I might remember wrong. But anyway. But, well, the ultimate cause of everything is the electricity, of course. Oh, I did hit the right spot. I was like, don't tell me that I hit it in the wrong spot. Like, with the 3DS, I loved how it, like, showcased this, like, a box where you pointed. Like, if you clicked at something, it showed this box. So, you would have an easier time to know the exact location where to press because of the box. With this PC version, I sometimes have to like guess a bit, am I gonna hit the right spot or not, even if I know the exact thing I'm supposed to point at. You mean the palm print or the evidence or what? Because the amount of times in this series that the accused fingerprints have been on something and it just completely gets ignored like later on. Like it's like in that meme video, the animation on YouTube, like, oh, I accidentally put my fingerprints on it, oh well. Because they never usually lead into anything. Yeah, like, we know that, like, in the end, in any of the other cases, how it actually went by, but still the fingerprints has, like, how did that always keeps happening? Why did people just keep on fondling things which they shouldn't? And thank you. Oh, the water tastes specifically bad today for some reason. And yeah, the judge is being super hasty today. Like, we haven't gone through much at all yet. And immediately, yep, it's murder. But to be honest, that's what judges are paid for. They are paid for how many do they judge as guilty. Yeah, I still think that to be very sick. But the fact that your pay is calculated on the base how many judgments you have given, not how many you have judged. And judgment means you need to order a punishment. So establishing someone not guilty means no pay rise. Yeah, Phoenix is being totally sensible here. Because anyone hearing that and seeing the evidence would make it seem exactly like he's the murderer. But the thing is, in this universe, there is no difference between murder and manslaughter in any way. Because that would make it clear at this very point that it was a manslaughter, not a murder. It was an accident. But accidents don't matter. If someone dies, you are gonna be hanged. But that's the thing, Goran. There is a huge difference. If your action leads to the death of someone, you shouldn't be put to death if it's a pure accident. Like, there have been like, for example, this is a real case that has happened multiple times. A man walks into an elevator, pushes the elevator button. Soon he notices that the elevator isn't moving, and he's starting to smell this burning smell. And what has happened was someone was repairing the elevator, but forgot to actually mark the elevator to be closed, to have any markings on it. They were handling wires in an unsafe manner. The man pressing the button led to their death. Should they be tried and hanged for the fact that they pushed a button unknowingly? Some cases that has happened. The one in the elevator has been put to life in prison. In some other places, some other times, they have been absolved because it's the repairman that made the mistake. They were doing the unsafe method of doing the repairs. So yeah, it's not always about the result. It should be about the actual true motive behind the action. It is it is the same thing as if you are filing your taxes. If you accidentally put a dot instead of a point, you shouldn't be tried for trying to scam your taxes, for accidentally using the wrong endpoint, especially when it changes between systems. Do you use a point or a... Shit, I forgot what the other mark is called in English. The mark for decimals. And the other one for thousands. So making mistakes like that shouldn't cause people to be put into jail for their life when it's actually a mistake. Not a very stupid way to try to scam. Yeah, that's the thing. If you would, when there is no signs, you would just expect things to work normally. There have been, other cases where it has been the complete other way around. That someone has walked into an elevator, pushed a button, and boom, they have gotten stuck between floors for hours and hours. Because the elevator wasn't actually in function. But people forgot to put signs up stating that it's not functioning. And then again, there have been cases where that has happened. And in some cases, the person that got stuck in the elevator was paid like thousands and thousands of dollars because they were entrapped without any cause or reasons, and there was negligence. But in other cases, the one trapped in the elevator had to pay thousands and thousands, and because they couldn't, they had to be jailed because they caused the elevator to malfunction more than it was. That again is sick. Yeah. This is another, like, a bit different, not so much different. Because we are talking about young, underage people. They were underage at this point, weren't they? Let's look at the profiles. No, actually, they were a bit older than I remembered. Whoops. Whoops. Anyway, they are still young people having an argument. If you just shove someone a bit, that's not an intention of murder. You'd never intend to kill someone if you just shove them a bit. Unless you are like on top of a building or something, but that's different. If you're just on land and you just shove someone, yeah, you could be trialed. I would accept. You could be trialed for an assault, but not for murder. A manslaughter on case like this, yes, because it's a manslaughter, not a murder. Huge difference. Yeah. With the elevator examples, in both cases, the lack of any sort of signs should always put at least most, and well, in reality, all of the fault on the party that didn't put the signs up. Here, yeah, there isn't any, like, an option like that, but no, like, that's a different thing, though. These are two young people feuding. Nobody ever takes into consideration that just shoving or making someone fall would kill them, because that's a very unnormal situation. If you would be shoving an old man, yes, in that occasion you could say that there was murderous intent, there was intent for actual bodily harm. But when it's just two young people, no. You cannot expect it. I know people even younger than me who are in a state that if they fall down, it's very likely that they aren't getting up. But that's a very abnormal situation caused by some disease, faults in the genome, accidents, etc., etc. But it's outside of the norm. It's the same thing as there was one dude that, like, I wasn't in the same class as him. He was like a year younger, but I was in some of the classes that, like, with people that was in the same class as him. He was blind, but there was no way to see that from the get-go that he's blind. He didn't have the stick, he didn't have a dog, he didn't even have any sort of shades over his eyes. You wouldn't expect, if you just see him going down by the hall, that he is blind. So if you just hear someone asking, for example, where somewhere is, and you're not looking at them because you're doing something, you would point. You're not, like, by design being rude. but it will end up feeling that you were rude because you didn't know. Like, there were actually a couple of times that I went into the elevator and I waited in the elevator because I noticed that there were people coming in the elevator, and he actually bumped into me because he never noticed me, and he was like, oh, it's you again. He never knew me, but he knew it from the fact that he ends up bumping into me because I didn't make enough noise. I was usually quite quiet and tried to not exist in the elevators. Elevators are always a very, very awkward place, especially when they are tad too small, you know. And I can say that they were small because there were also people in that school in wheelchairs. And that elevator in that wing couldn't fit even the smaller wheelchairs. There were these bars on the sides that make it impossible. So wheelchair could fit in if those bars would have been removed. They never were removed. So anyone with a wheelchair had to go to a different wing, use an elevator there, and then, well, wheel all the way around. It functioned in most floors, but on floor 3 there was an additional staircase, so they always needed someone to help them up that staircase. I can imagine how much pain that was. Do that every fucking day. Okay, I'll see you later, Goran. Well, everything is important, and everything is not important. Like, overall, I just find this funny. How did it happen in that particular manner? You must be handling an umbrella really wrong if you manage to fall on it when you're being pushed. Well, okay. One exception I can understand. If you would try to use it to maintain yourself upright, you would try to shove it down, but nobody should be doing that on normal circumstances, since umbrellas aren't built like that anymore. I wish I could have like an actually properly built umbrella. I've been searching for one, but they aren't out there. Even the more expensive ones are actually cheaply made. They just have a brand attached to it or something. They have the same plastic materials throughout. Or maybe the handle could be done well. It could be wooden and carved and have coating. But the umbrella itself, thin, cheap metal with plastic screws. Ugh. expect that I will be muting a bit more than usual now, because my neighbor just randomly started playing the piano. And I'm used to that the piano playing is usually quite good. But now it feels like, is there a kid playing along? Because like you hear the right notes, but in midst of that there are random notes. It's straining my ears. So but yeah. So we have gone through the options that are out there, and from what was stated, the very at first nonsensical seeming, let's go to that statement. No wait, it's not here anymore? Oh yeah, here it is. I accidentally skipped the line without reading it. But yeah. Cheap umbrella. It seems very, very random and off key at first. But let's look at the picture again. Where do we see the umbrella? A completely different direction. And overall, what made me so, like, should have felt odd, especially Wright should have already said from the beginning when this image was presented. If Wright pushed this guy, they were talking. How is he this way? Like, because that's the end of the building. This is the other end. They should have been face to face, talking. Why are the marks behind him anyway? And how did he fell to this direction? Those are small things which always made me very confused. Because it kind of feels like the opposite. Some details seems to be very off from the get-go, and they aren't actually fully explained ever. But it's about the umbrella. Radio, what the hell do you even mean? Did you just bash a keyboard to get something completely random? Or were you legit trying to put down a link of some sort? I assume the former. Also, this umbrella seems odd. It doesn't seem to be like the one talked about. Also, they must have changed the icon. It looks completely different from what I remember. Although, I don't remember everything that well. I remember it being different colored, a bit, slightly, and from a different angle. Yeah, Radio, you just keep talking in tongues. It doesn't really change the situation in one way or another. Because you have the common bash keyboard syntax in there. That's all. Like, why not have an actual witness be the first on the witness stand from the get-go? It's very, very odd. Odd, isn't it? You just meet someone and they are giving you a gift of a necklace with a tiny bottle. Highly abnormal, isn't it? And something that should immediately give you suspicions of a couple of things, but nobody seems to have this common sense. So let's look at that a bit, since we didn't given all the details. There's not much details, but there is some. And weirdly it just goes into full screen, just black screen. Also, this is funny actually. If I look at my new screen, which is the second screen, it's it's the OBS screen as well. It's completely black. It's actually black and white. While I look at the game screen, it's not fully black and it's not fully white. Usually you don't want to use pure white and pure black for multiple reasons. But I think maybe the color settings on OBS make it so that it becomes pure black and pure white. It looks better in my eyes as being pure. but it shouldn't be used like that. Like I said, there are multiple reasons. Eye strain is one of the biggest ones. I don't think I ever suffered from it because I have had pure black screens with pure neon text for eons and it didn't do, like, it doesn't strain me, but as a common thing it does. Very common. But yeah, that happened. And that's the end of the part 1. Have there ever actually been a second part in the first case? I don't count the later games, but in the trilogy, I think they've all been one-parters, just boom, done. As far as I think. So it's a tad weird that this one actually is put into 2 parts. Yeah, like, it has much more importance than the other ones, but still, just for the sake of everything, let's use a new slot. So let's remember, slot 4 is for game 3. Hooray. And we'll continue next. No, we'll continue right now. There's no point of cutting this in half. I've been only on for an hour and a half. It might end up being a bit shorter of a stream. It really depends how much banter I go between, like, in this second part. But I want to go through, and I do want to take a pause at some point as well, so. Magic demon butterflies. You'll understand me later on. You will. Bloody simps. Why is this courtroom filled with simps? Mia. Why? Why? It's so awful, I need to take a screenshot. Like, yeah, we know, but you're taking it a tad too far. Because they all really mean it, the connotations. the details I talked about earlier stands here as well. They were facing each other. Phoenix pushes him. He falls on his back. Yet he's on his stomach, facing the other way when he died. This is a big difference, and nobody bats an eye about it. Nobody even notices it. Also, her eyes, I find them so disturbing. It could be that I know more, but I just see things. Yeah, that's part of Japanese language I never really understood. There are so many different forms of poetry, and they all have, even to this day, fully studied lines in schools and everything. It feels just so foreign. Because over here, you can't even study just poetry. You can specialize into it, but you can't really just study it, let alone different forms. Like, there are prose and many like traditional ways how to write stories and songs and things, but you cannot actually study them as a full thing. They are very, very minor, very specialized thing. You could do your thesis on them. And since they are so specialized, that's very likely that you only find really mentions and studies about, like, in thesis, not your entire study line. Which in one frame is a bit shame, because for example in UK, people study Shakespeare, it's like as a full line, it's like Shakespearean writing, and that's the thing. We have our national like book, but you cannot go and have a full study about it and the way it's made. I'd say it's very underutilized in the end. The best usage of it has been in fucking Donald Duck, and that was one story arc, and that's it. again, in most cases, you always should go to it. You should always show contradiction. But do we have anything? Do we actually have anything? Well, in the matter of fact, we actually do. But is it the time? Far as I remember, with this one you didn't, but I don't remember. Will it skip? It might skip. I think it skips the lines if I do it right now. So let's not do it yet. Yeah, I accidentally went along, but oh well, you're gonna miss just a couple of lines that have no real importance because, well, you'll see, you'll see. I can't recall, have they ever mentioned the judge's name in anything? Not even in the manga, far as I remember. Oh, mangas, there were multiple different iterations. As far as I remember, it had never been mentioned. So your guess is good as mine. Well, we press for more details. So yeah, now that we have actually gone through all the lines, I could actually just go on and actually advance. So, there was a new one. Which one was it? Because that was always been there. This was added. This was added. Oh yeah, it's this one. This one I need to present because there is the important detail here. there was a loud sound when this happened. Yeah, she said something far, far away. Like, which she shouldn't have admitted. Like, the fact that, like, let's just go one by one, because I think with this one, I will get penalized if I answer wrong, so, and it will not lead into anything fun. So the fact that if she heard or didn't hear anything, that's not gonna change anything. The fact that she stated she listened to music will go as same as the first one. But a detail which nobody has ever mentioned, there was lightning. Wait, have you been gone for 25 minutes already? Has it actually been that long? Jeez. That was fast. Oh, so I partake that your friend already left then? Oh, well, hello, Goran's friend. Oh, what food? I haven't eaten today yet either. I have some options, which I'm considering. I did go to the grocery store on my way back, so there is a couple options. But those options I gotten, I most likely want to save for the weekend. So I might need to go with something I have previously gotten. Although, I think I need to go back to the store. Like, I can't survive through the entire weekend without going to the grocery store again. Because I forgot to get this... I don't know how to, like, say it, because I don't think there is an English word for it, straight up. But it's this powder that's used to coalesce, like, make liquid less liquidy. I know the terms in Finnish and Latin, not in English. But in essence, I need that powder to make my sauce like a sauce. less watery. I'm out of it. I forgot to get more. So I should get more of that. But here's the deal. If there would actually have been lightning, it still doesn't make it any less likely that there was lightning and the lightning severed the cable and the lightning is the reason why the man died. It doesn't mean that he had to have hit the cable. It could be that the lightning struck him and the cable. That the lightning part changes really nothing in any way, if we are honest. Well, again, there is a million things that could have done it. There is very obvious things that could have made it happen, but nothing looks good for our state right now. So, unfortunately, we have to go with what is the truth as we perceive it right now. So profiles and Phoenix, we aren't meant to be the prosecution, but we are throwing you under the bus again. Like, I know that they say it like this, but it doesn't make any sense. If the pole is bumped, it should, like, there's no way that the cable gets broken like that. Okay, that's like well, this point where there is most pressure, yes. But the power itself would make it break way closer to the pole. And in most likelihoods on both sides if that's universally brittle. For the reasons I stated before, this doesn't make any sense. But here we go. Oh, I unlocked an achievement for that. Beware, Your Honor. What? But... I'm a bit surprised because I know a spot where that achievement would fit way better. But... Like, there have been achievements in the first case in the other games as well, so I guess they needed to have something here, and this was the sensible spot to put it, I guess. Overall, just playing Ace Attorney with achievements feels a bit odd. The amount of times I played them without achievements. Like, even the Great Ace Attorney on the Switch technically has achievements because there's the merits things. They are technically achievements. And I missed so many of them, and I hate it. Some of them I thought I most likely should have had them. Like, for example, there is this pole, and there was not a pole, board, I mean. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like that has different things written on it throughout the game. And one of the merits was that you have read all of it. And I thought I have, because every time a new chapter began, a new, like, one of those save moments happened, I always went there and read it. But there must have been differences, like, it must have changed during those as well, because I have missed something. Unfortunately, there's no way of me knowing where and when, so... And I'm not gonna replay the entire thing to find that. So I'm not gonna ever get all of the merits. Yep. The angles doesn't make any sense though. So I think this is a great spot for me to take that break, which I mentioned. Because now you guys can think about where the truth lies here, what needs to be done. And, well, when I get back, we'll continue with that. So, I'll be right back.
In a foul shrine in the Deimos Peninsula, lost souls summoned the Black Apostle Eliphas to Cronus. There, the Word-Bearers raised their black temples and launched their assault on the world. Eldritch energies split the earth with abyssal fissures and remade the lush jungles into a nightmare landscape, pulsing with ruinous energies. A master demagogue, Eliphas made an advantage of the fractious nature of those bent to chaos. Instead of relying on a unified defense, he allowed his champions and cult leaders to establish their own satellite temples, where they could pursue their own dark rituals. Any attacker who hoped to defeat the Word-Bearers would have to run a bloody gauntlet of heretics, including some of the Legion's most veteran Chaos Space Marines. Indeed, killing the heretics on Cronus was pointless so long as the Great War Portal and Eliphas's Bastion remained open. The dark spells of the sorcerers Amphion and Zathus maintained this massive rend in the fabric of creation, granting Eliphas endless reinforcements. So long as the Deimos portal remained open, there could be no victory on Cronus.
Okay, I'm back. And talking about backs, while I was away, I answered a couple of messages, and I checked the scene. At first, I didn't remember that scene at all, but then I was, oh yeah, this. It just showcased how stupid the Spartans are. Because blacksmiths make excellent warriors. Like, this, the amount of strength you need to do to just keep on pounding in metal, like the metal while it's hot. It was a hard work. Especially to do some hardy tools. They were easy to make in the grand scheme of things, but you needed to be strong. But back to the main thing as well, which is my back, which is hurting like hell. It has been hurting for a while today, but we might get to a case that, yeah, I'm definitely not starting the next trial. So after this is done, that's the end of the stream. I might need to go to bed and lie up. I still, it's hurting. It's really hurting. So, yeah, to continue where we were left off. So we need to get rid of this lie. Takes a while to get to the line. Yeah. Here we have a issue, which, well, she was in a hurry to make up this lie, so yeah. We'll get rid of that lie. And I think, was it good enough to add either one? Because the important thing here is the time. So let's go with this one, because I don't remember, like, well, I don't even know, to be honest, is both okay or not. But this is okay for sure. It is finally time. We can finally establish the true killer. The one behind it all. Grossberg! Now that would be a twist. But like, to make it a Ace Attorney twist, it would be Pain. But no, of course not. It's Dahlia. Duh. And yeah, to actually get the final piece of the puzzle, we do need it. So let's read it. It actually has 2 pages. Diego Armando. A name which we won't be hearing much at all. Much at all. In most cases, the names of the victims are not mentioned. Really? Again? But And yeah. Look at the subject. Suspect. It's Dahlia. Poison. Yep. Traces of poison were found in victim's coffee cup. So nobody knows how did the poison get there. I wonder. Uh, what? 6? What? What? What do you mean 6? How did you fit all of them? Like, don't you only have a TV and a one screen? I did say 6. How? How are you watching 6 at the same time? The record I have had is to actively actually watch is 4. I have had more than that open, but... Well, there's the... Well, if you can actually go along, it makes sense. But I would like to remind that if you can't actually... Oh, so you're bench testing. Okay, I get it. That makes sense. Because the fact that you only give a view to the first one you start watching. Sometimes it goes to the latest one, but only one person actually gets a view if you have multiple open. But if you actually want the bench test, the CPU, have the stream open, like have a stream or couple open while you have a game open. Then you get like the proper get-go from the browser and another source as well. Well, the amount of times in the series where we have the option to let it go or push it. Well, we really don't have anything at this point. Even though I bet many of you, even not knowing, have already figured it out. But we need to push it. Yep, we would not have gotten this detail if we didn't. The judge can be savage sometimes. I'm taking a screenshot of that. Only if Judge would do this more often. Yeah, like, Grossberg really just spits out the answer. Because he mentioned how we have all forgotten about the police report, and that's the key. Grossberg, why? Your name might be Grossberg, but stop being gross. Nobody wants to know about your hemorrhoids. This alone should give enough of suspicion. Even if it would have moved you that, oh, you were suspect of a poisoning. Someone who has no idea about poisons wouldn't remember a detail like lethal in just 2 teaspoons. Also, 2 teaspoons is a lot. Like, Jesus. Most poisons that have been used for over like multiple decades now kill in milligrams, not freaking teaspoons. And whoops, I accidentally skipped it, so let's go back and... Well, if any one of you viewing remembers a few locations that were talked about at the very beginning, you might already draw some conclusions. But I think the most important key aspect is not just the location, but someone. Remember how they were dating? And look what he's studying. Um, the thing is, you were under suspicion of it already and everything, and it doesn't make sense for anyone else to do it. Far less have been enough for the prosecution. So why not now for defense when they are taking a prosecution's aspect? A container that can have 2 teaspoons in, you can easily hide it. You could have even done the risk that you had it, you administered it, and then you swallowed the container. That's a very common tactic. You could have immunized yourself to the poison, and if it was a very good container, you could pass it through your system without it leaving enough of its contents to you, since you emptied it. If it takes 2 teaspoons to kill someone, what's left in a container after you consume it shouldn't do that much damage. You know, 2 teaspoons to kill. Jesus. It's a lot in the scheme of things. Well, again, what could have been the container? What could it have been? What could have happened to it? There are 2 different questions. So I wonder, could both of them be used here? But let's go with the safe option. Because people must have understood it from the get-go. Pendant with a tiny bottle in it. Bit too obvious. You are crushing a man's spirit here, Mia. This wouldn't work. This could kill a man. You can't go with that direction. Because of that damn necklace. I said about eating the container, I said it's not that out of the world because it actually happens. And again, that doesn't prove anything. The poison could have gone bad. There was such a tiny amount of it. In any case, the prosecution gets everything so easily. Well, shouldn't that be obvious? We don't have many options here. And again, but just for the fun of it, let's go with logic. Crossberg, don't know. Pain, don't know. Herself, would not make sense. She did kill Swallow. But being a pharmacist and not anymore in a relationship, I don't think poisoning would be that easy. But who would take everything given by her without any questions? And yeah, there have been other obvious tales as well, but even with simple logic, you get to the right solution. This just shows how badly she has gone through this. Because there would have been many easy ways to get hand off the bottle. Especially since she can manipulate Wright so easily. She could have said that, oh, I'm gonna repair it, I'm gonna attach something to it, I want to make it more special, anything. There is gonna be more information about it, but it still just is gonna show even more how bad of a murderer she is. I told you they aren't fucking demon butterflies. She just summons them out of thin air. Well, let's start by only one. Oh, that's a good one. That's actually very good. It's so rare to see that actually works with any emote, but it really does with that one. But yeah, first of all, they wouldn't fire a lawyer just by messing this up, because everything seemed so to be like the defense says. So if the defense cannot draw the conclusions here, they wouldn't be fired, they wouldn't be actually penalized. They would just be said, well, you had a good hunch, but you can't prove it, so unfortunately, we have to declare this as that. And it would be marked down that, again, a certain individual has been in a trial about poisonings, but they could not be convicted yet again. But yeah, and second thing, the judge said I can only present one, but if you look at the meter, yeah, you can see my mouse now. If you can see the meter here, I can present at least 2 wrong ones. Maybe even a third, because I'm not sure how does it count, because 1, 2, 3, so it's a clear it's gonna take those. Then I would assume it's gonna be another 1, 2, 3, so at least 2, maybe even third, because there is a half here. Not exactly sure, but I would think so. So yeah, I could get it wrong multiple times, no matter what the judge said. But what would be evidence that she was going to poison Wright? There isn't much here. And when you start striking down evidence by evidence, piece by piece, what has something to do with Wright? How do they sponsor with the code Killer X? Ah, yes! Yes, the image. Yep, I know. It's there. But the image hasn't changed at all. It still looks the same. Like, Although, like, this umbrella looks different than the one in the image, which makes me more think of that they changed the art of this between the versions. But I don't notice anything different to this picture. Ah, yeah. It's not the same, but yeah, I would have also drawn the conclusion from it. It's like, unfortunately, it doesn't show here, but yeah. It's an easy connection to make, even though it's different. Hers, I think, is a proper parasol. Hey, like a real deal. Yeah, now that here we can see it, it looks like an actual parasol compared to umbrella. But I kinda slipped by saying what it was it meant to be a parasol because of that, you know, connection. But yeah, this action was stupid mistake from her. Yeah, why would they judge her in this occasion? She wasn't quote unquote there at all, so she would not have been searched this time. And even if they did, why would they search for a cold medicine? What difference would that make? She left the evidence in plain sight. That's like it. I love this. It's such a good way to get by without even doing any testings. Like, of course she wouldn't because she knows it's poisoned. But unfortunately, and which I'm a bit surprised, the judge isn't saying, "Hey, you can't do that," because that's the case. You can't force someone to eat or drink anything. It doesn't matter, even if it's a court, and even if it would be something that you are normal, like let's say brownies. There is brownies brought to the court and they are poisoned. The one who brought them knows that they are poisoned. In the court, even if they would know that, oh yeah, I have established that these brownies are poisoned, they can't say, hey, eat this up, or we know that you poisoned this. That's not a legal move you can do. Like, yeah, you can't do that, but what you can do is like, hey, nobody eat this. We're gonna test this. Okay, they were poisoned. Good. I told you they are demon flies. She just made them burn. They aren't hell butterflies. Oh, is that the way that they are translated in English, by the way? Because I watched the anime in Japanese and read the manga in Finnish. So, and yeah, I'm talking about Bleach. Are they translated as hell butterflies? Because I bet you are referring to that. And it's a very different thing. Even if they have been translated to hell butterflies, they have nothing to do with hell. Because when someone has been sent to hell, it's a fucking gate that just drags them in. And seemingly, the series have had a continuation which is about hell. I haven't seen it, but I have read that that's a thing that's happening. And I am interested. I think that they should have ended the series before the final arc, because that would have been a perfect spot. But I'm not fully against it. There have been even more. Now, this is a thing you could do. You could say to the prosecution, "Oi, if you are that trusting in your well, it's not their client, but your witness, would you then sample this medicine, since you know it can't be poison, since you trust in them?" You can make that. You can force them. And in this occasion, it's not forcing. It's suggesting that, oh yeah, you ain't trusting them if you can't take it. And that's acceptable. It could be flagged as bad sportsmanship, but technically you can make the post. That's allowed. It just doesn't look that good, even though I would say it's a good move. When I was first playing this, I thought that Pain would have taken the simping to the next level and would have actually, well, I thought that he would have downed some of the bottle and then passed out and gotten in the hospital, but no. Instead, the shock realization of all of this blew his hair away. Which seems that was actually his real hair. This is why he's going bald, because he was shocked by the shockwave sent by Mia, so that his hair flew off. Jesus, that man was strong. Like, I've been in a wind machine with a wind speed that if someone would have put a freaking, well, not a bullet, but like a hard material, like a spike of some sort, in front of the wind machine and let it go, it would have pierced me. So the wind speed itself was deadly, but with the wind machine in the place, there wasn't anything that could fly towards me, only off from me. And actually, certain pieces of my clothing did fly away, but it was a controlled environment, so nothing bad happened. My cap was one of them. I was trying to hold on to the cap, but I couldn't. I had to let the cap go. And even with all the wind, I could still hear how it was pop, hit the wall. It was fun. But yeah, at no point I was afraid that my hair would fly off. Right? The fact that I have so much more hair now, I bet that if I would get into a more kind of situation, there would be a lot of hair flying off. But not like that. It would just be loose hair. It wouldn't be like my fucking like the hair itself on top or the front just flying off piece by piece. Like, ugh. Like, you would die before you get the wind speeds like that. Your eyes would be thrown off. His glasses didn't go anywhere. But things happen in the Payne's family's hair is common thing. So we'll just leave it with Payne family magic. Curse. Yeah, curse would be better. Oh, Phoenix, 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 Phoenix. The things you say. I'm gonna leave it at that. What? What do you mean? Relax. Try to grow up. Those are completely opposite things. And you can't just poof do either one of these. Especially not in a circumstances like this. Mia, what's wrong with you? Yeah, like, it doesn't make sense, like, when they said 5 years ago, because it was meant that Phoenix is the one telling the story, but it was definitely told in the perspective of Mia all the time, and I would have translated this a bit differently. But the thing is, you ain't just hearing her in your mind, you're hearing her through her sister's body quite often as well, so yeah. And achievement get, Turnabout Memories. And oh, I didn't remember that this was the second one. I remembered that some of these was in different order. But yeah, the next one is the Stolen Turnabout. Let's save. And we'll save in 4 since we are in game 3. And the time is not 1 AM. because the game is turned off. No spoilers. Not now. So yeah, that was the first case in Ace Attorney 3. And like I said, my back is hurting me. So I should really go to lie down. But I would like to thank everyone so much for joining today. Hopefully you're gonna join me again, which the next time is gonna happen on Monday. If I don't find a good spot during the weekend for something extra. And yeah, so on Monday, I'm gonna continue with the Fire Warrior. On Tuesday, I'm gonna continue where we left off with the campaign. A painful mission. I didn't expect the Wizard campaign to be that painful already, but with Heroes 5, Wizard campaign, and then next Thursday, we're gonna continue to the second case with Trials and Tribulations. So, thanks so much everyone. I need to lie down. Bye.